Yeah, hello, my fellow traders. Welcome to another one. Early this morning, I received a message from one of my very good friends. Like I said, my friends are you guys. So I received a message from one of you guys on this channel. He requested for the way I've been saying there's a particular way I plot my pullbacks and my entries. I should make a detailed video about it. So I thought about it and I looked at it like, well, I've been saying it, I did a video about it, but probably it wasn't clear enough. So I decided to, okay, let me do this one and show you guys what I mean, exactly what I mean. So we're going to use a 5-minute chart for this illustration. So please try and pay very good attention to it so that you understand what I'm saying. I've marked everything for us so that it will save time. I don't have to start drawing lines one by one to explain. So please just pay attention. You will understand it once you follow up with what I'm saying. So let's zoom in and see. So we're going to start from this. Let's just start from this red candle. So my own take is this: every black candle, if I'm on an expansion, I'm going to use this as my expansion and this as my pullback. So let's start from this candle, this black one. I'm going to put a mark on it like I did now. There's a mark on it. So let's say price action started from this red, another red, this black. Once there's a red that closes above the wick of this black, I'll put a mark on it like this. Then I'll wait for the next set of candles. And don't forget, once you have a candle like this, a candle close above the black, it depends on the color of your own candles, but mine is black. That's my sell candle is black. My red candle is buy. So once I have this kind of formation, red, black, red, and the last red closes above the black, I'm sure of one thing: price is going upwards. So I'll put a mark on it like this. I don't usually put it again, but just for illustration's sake, let me just put it so that you would understand what I'm saying. So there's a mark on it where that red candle closed above it. So now for this combination of red and black, that's red and black, the lowest point for these two candles is this. That is my low for this black and red. This is the lowest point there. So I put a mark there. There's a mark on the black. So now the set of candles are formed again. Once I have a black, I'll observe what is happening again. Once I have a close above that black, I put a mark there again. And where is the lowest between the black and the red beside it? This is the lowest point. So this is a low. This is a low. It can easily be seen as something like this. From this place to this black, from that same place this is just to explain further what I'm saying. And from here to this black, can I expand further? I'm not sure. Let's see. It won't go further than this. So if you can see this blue line properly, look at the movement from here to the top of the black, to the tail of the red, to the top of the black. That is the highest. That's the black here. I'm not bothered about where the red got to. It's just the black candles, the top of the black candles. So to the top of the black, to the red, to the bottom of the red, because the red, if it is the black that is the lowest candle between the two, this will go to the bottom of the lowest. That's the lowest point. I hope you get it. So let's remove that. Let's remove this, so that it won't. So always put the lines on the top of the black and the bottom, the lowest point between the black and the red. to that's the red beside. Once you have a black like this, definitely you're going to have a red. The next one is going to be either a black and a red. Once you put your points, that's when you put your trend line above it. The lowest point beside that black, that is where you put the other one. So this is the high at this point, this is the low. So I did the same thing here, the high and the low. Price created a red, a black, a red, a black. I'll put another one on that black, not on the red, not on this black, the first black. That is the highest black here. Then I'll wait for either price to close below this line, because this is the low for this formation between this top and the bottom here. If price doesn't come and close below it and create a lower low, if price is still going up, I'll continue putting my lines there, indicating where the highs and the lows are. So this is the high at this point, this is the low, according to my own strategy. Okay, so now above this line, all the candles within this place, I'm not bothered about it until I have a candle close above this line. So once I have a candle close above this, I'm good. I'll now check where is the lowest point under this line. Under this, that's when this black candle opened and closed, and I put this trend line. Where is the lowest point? This is the lowest point there, because it didn't close below this. This is the lowest point. So I'll put a line on it. It would have been a blue line, but I changed it because there's something I wanted to show. Okay, let's just change the color so it won't get confusing. Let's return it back to the blue. So at this point to this point, this under this black, that is this red closed above the black, created its own set of candles, but it never closed above below this one, this line here, which is the lowest point from the black to the red here. There were wicks, but wicks doesn't count. It is a body close that matters, and there was no body close, no problem. So for between this place and this place now, this candle is the lowest wick there. That's the lowest point. What I'm saying is this. I won't be doing this regularly on this, but I'm just trying to show you guys what I mean from here to here, because I want you to understand it. I hope you see it. From here to here, that is the lowest point, and the next point is going to be you have to mark that's the highest black. No, it's going to be, sorry, I made a mistake here. It's going to be here. That's the black. Some people use the red, but there's a reason why I don't use that red. I'm always focused on the black. That is the highest black to the lowest wick. So this will go to the highest black again. Let me just do it again, because I want you guys to actually get this thing. It is very simple. If you can just train your eyes to look at it. I'm going to show you why I've decided this is the way I'll be selecting my own highs and lows. It accurately gives me what I want. Just hold on a bit, let me just, because I guess this will make more sense to some people. So if you can see it very well, I wish I could expand a little bit further, but this is the highest frame expansion my my system would allow. So you can see the zigzag, the high, this is the high, the low, the high, the low, the high, the low, the high. That is what I'm saying. So let's just leave this for clarity's sake. So what I'm saying is this: if you have that's the lowest point. That lowest point, that is your low. This is a higher high, a higher low. So if we were able to extend this below this one because there was no body close of a candle, it was just wicks. Now this is the highest point there, the highest black. Between this low and this point, any candle inside this space, we are not bothered about it. We are just bothered about a candle that closes above or below. So let's look at it now. This is all this from this point to this point now. So that you can see properly. From this point to this point, that is where between the high and the low, that is a higher high, a higher low. Anything that happens inside this place, we are not bothered. It is only when the candle closes above. You see the same thing here. Between these two lines, whatever happened inside, we are not bothered. It is only when this candle closed above, we became interested. So we started monitoring it, and at the end of the day, it 3 weeks down, but it didn't close below, and it created another one above. Now, anything that happens between the highest place here and the lowest place here is what we are interested in. So all this, we are not bothered. Nothing happened there. It was just normal movement until we did what? We had a close below the lowest point here. That is this. If I always tell you guys, price has to create a lower low below the highest low. This is the highest. This is the kind of highest low I'm referring to. So if price creates a lower low here, it's going to be a pullback. That is where I pick my pullback. But look at this now. Price broke the low, but didn't create a lower low. And price did what? Tried other stunts, still came, couldn't create a lower low, and price did what? Price went up. So this in turn would have been a pullback, but it didn't meet the criteria of my pullback. That is what I said in one of my videos, like this now to some people is a pullback. To me, it is not. It is a pullback on a lower time frame. This is a 5 minute chart, so this will definitely be a pullback on a 1 minute chart. The same thing if you are on 1 hour chart, and if you have something like this that doesn't meet the criteria of like closing below, that is what I'm saying is your candle can close below, but if it doesn't create a lower low, it is not a pullback yet. On a lower time frame to that particular time frame you are doing your map out on, it is going to be a lower, it is going to be a pullback there. But for that particular chart you are monitoring, it is not. I hope you get that point. So now it created a high, it closed above, telling us price. That's it. All this, the top of the blacks, if I would say, is what they call break of structure. Now the lows, once price breaks and once price breaks and creates a lower low below this low point, that is when you have a pullback. And up till this place, it didn't create a lower low until it jumped up, closed above too. So now it did this. To me, most times I don't count this. These are neutral candles. I said this in one of my videos. But funny thing, Forex, at times they use it, at times they don't. Like in this example I'm showing you now, they used it at some point. But let's just free this one for now. So if you go to the next black candle now, what do you see? Let's put it there. Let's put our mark there. Now if you want to look at it, if assuming this candle comes down, where is the lowest place out of this now? Because it broke this. Where is the lowest place? This would have been the lowest place. Look at it. Look at the low. Yeah. That is the low it has to break to change that means price has to come all the way from here to break this low before we can have a pullback. And if it is this particular candles they want to count, that means price has to break this place, this low. That is, if they are going to use this one, that means we are going to have something like this. We're going to have something like this. That means this neutral candles, what I call neutral candles are candles that opened at a particular price and closed at that same price. It is a neutral candle. It neither goes up or down. It closes at the same price. It closes at its opening price. So at times they use it, at times they don't use it. So assuming they decide to use it, this is where the last low will be. So that means price has to come, break below this low and create a lower low before we have a pullback. But price didn't. So that means we are still going up. So for here now, price did what? Price created a wick above this place, a black wick, before it now closed. So that means this wick before and this close, this wick has helped this black out to make its wick longer. So you have to move your trend line up. I don't know if you get it. It was formerly like this. I'm said that you should be marking the top of the blacks. If you have a candle, a black candle closed like this, throwing its wick above the previous wick of the former black candle, that is the highest candle before, the highest black candle before. Though we had this candle, we had other black candles, and I said what? Anything that happens between the last low and the highest black candle, we don't really care about it until there's a broken low or a broken high. And I said if they decide to use this too, our low would have been here. Our last low would have been here. Okay, let's even just say it is here. So now our frame is this, between here and here. Anything that happens inside this place, between these two, we don't really care. What we are concerned about is a close above it or a close below it. Now we have a close above it. But before that close, there was a candle that threw its wick outside. If that candle is red, don't worry about it. But if it is the same color with this, our monitoring candle, that's the black, the sell candle, depends on your own color. My sell candle is black. So if it is the same color with this one, that means it is helping it out to extend its leg. You shift this to the top of that one. So that means this your higher high, higher low is extended. Then when you have your break, okay, your break is there, you wait for the next candle again. While waiting, you'll be monitoring it, because now your last low is this. I don't know if you're getting it. Please, if you don't get it, please watch the video again. It might seem like the stress is too much. Plotting this one, plotting. If what you need to do is watch this video several times. Watch it like a movie. Put it on your mobile phone, watch. Put it on your TV set, watch. Once you get used to it, I'm telling you, you don't need to draw these lines again. Your eyes will be so trained, accustomed to it, that once you look at the chart, you spot it. I don't draw these lines again. Once I look at the chart, I'll see where the lowest high is or the highest low. That is what we're driving at. I'll show you, just be patient. So now we have this. This is the lowest point. Price did the same thing, created a black. Once I have my black, once price doesn't come and break this low, you see, this is the high, this is the low. If price comes and breaks this low and creates a lower low, that is when I have a pullback. If it doesn't, I'll keep marking the black. So this is another black. The lowest point from this black is where that same black candle. There was no lower point again. So at this point there was another black. The lowest point there is this. There was a candle close above it. Let me remove this first. So now we put, this is the lowest point for this one. Let me see, can I expand again? This candle, we have a black candle here, we have another black candle before we had this close above it. So the lowest point from this black candle is this one. So you put, this is the lower. So what I'm saying is now we have a higher high, a higher low, then a higher high for that breakup close above. So now we have another black candle. If we have a close above it, the lowest point for this black candle, which is this red, then will be established as a low. But if we don't have a close above this black candle, it is not a low. This still remains our low. This is what I'm saying. Please bear with me. This is, I don't really know how to explain this more than the way I'm explaining it now. I'm just bring it like this. So maybe I pray and I hope by the time you watch this video a couple of times you will understand what I'm saying. There's this thing they call highs and lows in Forex. It is what I'm trying to show you. The way, not the regular way they define it. My own way of defining it. Because I realized I followed theirs for years and I kept on losing money. I kept on missing opportunities. So I decided, okay, let me come up with my own. So I created my own way. And ever since I did, I've been spot on. I've been hitting it straight on. No more losses. Not really no more losses, but at least my analysis has been better off, more accurate than before. Okay, let's just leave it there like that first. And so this is the low. This was the candle. This helped it out. So now this is the low. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. This is supposed to be the higher high, assuming we have a close above it, a red candle close above it, but we didn't. So this is the last high, confirmed high, because we had a close above it. That's a red candle closed above that black. That is the last high. This is the last confirmed high, and this is the last confirmed low. Please listen to it again. Once you have a candle close above that black, a red candle, my black is my sell candle, my red is my buy candle. So I've been plotting I've been plotting my eyes on the black candle. So once I have a close above, a red candle close above my black candle, that black is confirmed to be a high. Now, the lowest point after that black candle was created, before I had that break above, I close above it, that is my confirmed low. So now, since price action failed to close above this black, I'll monitor the two sides. Okay, let's try and zoom out a bit. This is a bit. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think this should work like this. So if I extend this a bit further, price refused to close above the black. So my confirmed low was this low. So price came to the low, closed below the low, but didn't create a lower low. And according to my strategy, not even strategy, my general way of analyzing my charts, if I have a close below the highest low, but I don't have a lower low close. That means the price is still going up. So at the end of the day, look at what happened. This was the low, price closed, didn't create a lower low, and price did what? Closed above the highest point we were monitoring before. So that means we're still going up. We don't have a pullback yet. I hope you can follow. So now we have, since this black now is the highest black for this move, this one now becomes, and once you have a black, the highest black confirmed by a close above it, the lowest point after that black was where? Here. So meaning from this black now to this place, this is the higher high, this is the higher low. Let me mark it up so you get it. I was hoping this won't take too much time, but from the look of things, well, this is just where it is difficult, because I know you guys are having a difficult time. Some of you guys, I won't generalize. Some of you guys may be having, or might be having, English. So this was a low. This is a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. It would have been, assuming there was a lower low close, it would have been a higher high, a lower low. But as it is, we will still call it a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. So it broke here. So if there's going to be a break below and a close below, that is, if we're going to have a pullback, price has to come down here. Let me zoom out. So for this move between this top and bottom trend lines, this is our low, this is our high. Then we had another black candle formation here. Now it starts getting interesting. So like I said, there has to be a candle close above the black to confirm this high as a higher high and the lowest point as a higher low. So for here, this is our low. So now after the candle, we had another, after the red candle close, we had another black candle. It didn't come below to break this low. It did its magic, did its thing, and closed above again, confirming this one again as a higher high, and the lowest part there, which is this red. Let me expand a bit. Don't worry, it might be difficult a bit, but once you watch over and over again, you understand. I plead with you, with everything there to you, please take your time to watch this video. The minute you watch this video and you understand it, it might take you maybe 4 or 5 times watching it over, but the minute you understand, I'm telling you, your trading game is going to change. All my strategies, it might seem simple. Every strategy I've been teaching, I've been showing, bringing to your doorsteps on my channel, depends on this analysis I'm showing you right now. Because if you're able to get it, you will get your pullbacks accurately. These same pullbacks are the pullbacks. Once you have this pullback broken, once I show you now, if you have this pullback broken, you are certain price has indeed entered a change of character, not the other ones they show you. I don't know, maybe some strategies are meant to make you lose your money because they don't show you the right thing. So this is the high, this is the low. Higher high, higher low. There's a break above. It creates what? Once you have a break above, you need to wait for another break and close above it to confirm. The thing is, your highs are not confirmed and your lows are not confirmed if you don't have a close above the high, the last high. So once you have this close above this high, that is when this high and this low are confirmed. Once you have another break close above this one, that is when this high and this low are confirmed. So now, since we have a close, this is confirmed. We have a close above this high and this low are confirmed. Then we had a black, but price didn't go up to confirm it, so this high was not confirmed. Instead, we had a break below the lowest point of the previous low. Let's remove this. So as at this point, this was our last high because it was confirmed by this close, and this was our last low. Instead of price to go and close above this our new high, it did what? It closed below our last low. Now, since price closed below it, what do we need to confirm it as a pullback? We need a lower low close. It has to be a lower low. What makes a lower low is a black, a red, and a black close below that red. And we have it here. So price did what? Closed below. Assuming there's this close below, and it failed to create a lower low, and it went back and closed above this. No problem, we are still on the uptrend. But since we had a close below, and price came back and closed lower than that one, so that means we have a lower low. That is where the name came from, a lower low, lower than this low, because this was the original low, confirmed by this. This is the higher high, higher low. This is supposed to be a higher high, but it's not confirmed yet. Now it now created a lower low. This was a higher low before. Higher high, higher low. This is supposed to be a higher high, but it didn't meet the criteria. Then it now created a lower low. This now created a lower high, a lower low. I hope you get that thing. So once you have a lower low close below the last high, this is a pullback. Please watch the video several times to get it. So at this point where we have the red, let's zoom in a bit. So at this point we have a lower close, a lower low close below the previous low. This red mark trend line, this red trend line is where we had the highest low. That is higher high, higher low. This is the highest low that I used to say in my videos. I used to say it, once I have a break below, a lower low close below the highest low, this is what I mean. This is the highest low here. We had a lower low close below it. This is a pullback. So for those of you who are wondering, he's always talking about his pullback. This is Lazy's pullback. Okay, let's zoom out so you see what I'm saying properly. Look at where we started from. Look at where we started from. From here to here. This is the only place we had a pullback. You would have looked at this. All those strategies they teach you, all those people telling you, they will tell you this is a pullback. It is a pullback, but not on this 5 minutes chart. That is where they get it wrong. It is a pullback on a 1 minute chart. If there's something below 1 minute chart, it could be a pullback there. But I'm very sure it is a pullback on a 1 minute chart, not a pullback on a 5 minute chart. If you do your markings like this on a 1 hour chart and you come across something like this on an average intelligence, you would believe it is a pullback. But if it doesn't break the highest low, it is not. It has to break below and it has to create a lower low close below the highest low. If it doesn't, it is not a pullback. It is a pullback on a time frame lower than the time frame you are on. So from here now, from the place we started from, this is where we had our pullback. I'm still coming to that pullback. I just want to show you certain things. So let's continue. So now we have our pullback, and there's this. Let me just quickly chip in this. Like one of the examples of trade entries I gave you. Let's remove certain things first. Let me remove this. Oh, okay. One of the examples, let me do certain things so that I know it's the way they did this thing is not too interesting like that. Better trader, don't be angry with you. Okay, so this is my pullback from all we've been doing since. This is the way my pullback used to be. That is a lower low close below the highest low. This is the highest low. I have a pullback. There's one particular strategy of mine that I said once you have a break above the lowest high and you have a higher high close. Look at this now. What is this? A high. This is what? If you go like this, 1, 2, 3, this is what? If this is a high, this is a lower high. If we put a line above the lower high, what do we have? A higher high break above it. And I used to say what? If you have a higher high break in one of my strategies or two of my strategies, if you have a higher high break, price will always pull back. Price will go back and touch where? An opposing candle before that break. This is the candle that broke above the lowest high. This is the lowest high for my pullback. There's a higher high close above it. I said price will always go back to where that's price will go back to the opposing protected candle. Those of you familiar with my channel, with my videos, you will know I've been saying it. This is the breakout candle. Some people will use this. I don't use it. But for this one, if you want to use it, look at it. It is not protected. Because it is sharing the same candle with the breakout candle. That is the candle that broke this blue line that closed above it is the same candle that closed above that broke above the high of the lowest high. So this is not a protected candle. This one is the protected candle. Look at the candle that closed above it. It closed above it neat, and it is not that same candle that closed above it that closed above the lowest high. So if you put a box here, my strategies are very straightforward if you only follow the rules. I'm telling you, Forex is crazily simple. Look at it. The lowest high got broken, higher high created. Price came where? Went back to where? The last opposing protected candle. This is the candle. So assume, let's pretend as if price was just here. We just had the higher high close above this. Price hasn't come back here yet, and you put your box there. And now price came here. Most times I advise you to go down to a lower time frame. Then you drive down to your 1 minute time frame. You go and seek your lower time frames entry strategies and confirmations, and you enter this trade. Look at the potential. Look at what happened after. Look at what happened after. Look at it. Look at what happened. You got tagged in, and look at what happened. That is why I'm telling you my strategies are crazily simple. Follow the rules. Simple. There is no magic there. I don't just come up to share strategies. I do my research on my strategies. That is why I can boastfully tell you, if my strategy doesn't work for you, that means you missed one of the instructions, one of the guidelines, or one of the rules at some point. Check your analysis again, or watch the instruction and tutorial videos again, and you see. Now we started from the scratch. We mapped the highs, the lows, the highs, till we got to where we broke the. Let me correct this. We started from here. And we marked it till we marked the highs and the lows till we got to here. The thing is, when you get used to it, you won't be marking all these highs and lows. You just look at the chart and you will see it with your eyes without even marking anything. Like I used to say it now. I've trained my eyes to the extent that I just look at the chart and I just sit. So now this would have been an entry for you, and you would have made serious pips here. Okay, let's continue. I just wanted to chip in this for some of us who don't have that patience. You're always like, what is it plotting? What is it doing? Look at that. Once you have this, there's nothing stopping that success. If you're able to plot it very well, it is standard the way they do these things. Once there's a this, once there's a that, no emotions, no sentiment. It is standard rule, standard way those things work. Maybe there's an algorithm or something. I don't know the way these things happen, but I also know I've studied it. Once you follow the rules, the only thing that can spoil this thing for you is when you have news. And maybe the news goes against your preferred direction. But apart from that, forget it. My strategies are crazy. So let's leave this. Let's just leave it for the sake of leaving it. Okay.